Ken Trahan with Lenny Vangilder. It's our First NBC Bank weekend preview presented by First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNOLA.com. It's All-Star Weekend in New Orleans. A lot of people, a lot of traffic, a lot of events, a lot of fun, a lot of good for the metropolitan area.
Well, as you and I have talked about before, New Orleans does these things better than anyone else, and kudos to the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation and city leadership for stepping in very short notice when this event became available, when it was pulled from Charlotte last summer. And literally, New Orleans has pulled this together on 6 months' notice in the midst of Mardi Gras. And don't underestimate that. We know how big Mardi Gras is and how they've had to kind of change the footprint of what they do on All-Star Weekend. You're not going to see things at the convention center. A lot of the activities that normally happen there will be happening in the Dome. You'll see some things in Champion Square. A lot of events going on all around town at different places. It's really more than just that game on Sunday night, certainly.
It is indeed. Of course, Anthony Davis playing in the game itself, and a big banner of him downtown right now that you can find. And, of course, Buddy Hield in the Skills Challenge as well. So the Pelicans will be represented, and that's a good thing. And they were representing on this most recent road trip because they just completed their best road trip of the year by far, winning 3 out of 4. Capping it off with easily their most impressive win against a good Grizzlies team in Memphis in a game that they had a 16-point lead going to the fourth quarter, saw it get down to 1, but they held on to win.
Yeah, and they needed that one. And look, this could have very easily been a 4-0 road trip. They couldn't hold a 13-point first-half lead Sunday in Sacramento. Or else we might be really just talking about things like you don't want the All-Star break to happen now, and you probably don't the way the Pelicans are playing. But everybody in the league gets this week break. They'll be back in action next Thursday at home against the Rockets.
Well, they won 2 close games in Phoenix and, of course, in Memphis, and that's a turnaround from what's been transpiring this year. So let's see if that catapults them forward because they're still in pretty good shape in terms of contending for that 8th and final spot. You would expect somebody will jump up and seize it. And why not the Pelicans? Well, they're going to have to be more consistent, but obviously the opportunity is there. Solomon Hill, a season-high 23 points in the win at Memphis, including 4 3-balls, and a good performance by Alexia Jinsa, who had a double-double, second-highest scoring total of the year and his highest rebound total of the year.
And really they needed someone to step up a little bit there. And you know what's interesting is you start hearing trade rumors and things like that, and we've heard them for about a week now, and all of a sudden Jinsa, who's been basically inexistent in terms of how the Pelicans are concerned, much like Omer Asik, gets a chance and delivers because maybe he's thinking, okay, I've either got to show the current bosses what I can do, or maybe I'm showing my future bosses what I can do.
College basketball, LSU lost again. Enough on that. Tulane made a good run at SMU, had a sizable lead but couldn't hold it on the road in what was one of their better performances of the year and a loss. And then UNO off this week. They're back on action Saturday night at home, leading the Southland Conference, so the opportunity remains very strong for them.
Got to finish. They've got 5 games left, and it's there in front of them. That's the good news. Central Arkansas, key game is next week on Thursday night, the 23rd, which Stephen F. Austin comes to the lakefront. That may be the game that helps decide if they're indeed the regular season conference champions in the Southland.
And, of course, where college football is concerned, troubling news at LSU with Arden Key going away. We don't know when, where, for how long, or anything. No details forthcoming. People are speculating. We don't know. Bottom line is, really their most dominant defender, you'd have to say, coming back next season, may not be there.
Well, it remains to be seen. And, look, guys can miss spring ball, even if he's out and doesn't participate in spring practice. Ultimately he could do that, and obviously is going to know the system, was there for a year under Dave Aranda. If he comes back in the fall and hopefully everything is okay, then we'll see. But until then, it just becomes a wait-and-see situation, really.
College baseball gets underway in earnest this weekend with the Division I programs, and I guess you could start with LSU because it looks like Greg Dykman's going to play after all in their opener this weekend.
Interesting. We're talking about, cheekbones and, getting hit in the face and thinking this could be some kind of long-term situation. But, He's had surgery and apparently will, wear something. Who knows exactly what he's going to be doing? Will he be playing the outfield? Will he just DH? Exactly what will he be doing? I'm sure they're going to really be cautious with him early on, but good for the former Brother Martin standout to get back on the field.
Interesting with Tulane, with a new coach in tow, with Coach Jewett, to see how they fare with some returning players, but some key losses, and UNO trying to build on a really good year with Blake Dean.
Yep, should be. Look, all of our baseball in this area. You extend over to Lafayette with Louisiana Lafayette, and then of course you've got Nichols, Southeastern. Everybody's got some optimism this time of year, and while you're mentioning LSU, kudos for everything that they're doing this weekend. LSU Tulane basically swapping out opponents this weekend. They're going to split series with Air Force and Army, and LSU, Tulane's doing some things as well. But what LSU is really going over the top to salute the military and our armed forces, the police. Obviously, there was a lot of unfortunate stories that came out of Baton Rouge this year, and they're going to honor a lot of those families this weekend and next. So a tip of the hat to LSU.
High school athletics and the girls' basketball playoffs getting underway Thursday night. Boys' pairings will be announced next week, and then their playoffs will start. Soccer, we're into the semifinals, which is thrilling, and we look forward to that. And, of course, also celebrating wrestling championships. Check out the stories and the videos at SportsNOLA.com on Holy Cross and De La Salle winning those championships.
Yeah, it's it's a good time for high school sports with all of these champions being crowned. And look, it's also a good time. The story we mentioned at the top, All-Star Weekend. High school All-Star Weekend coming together. What a doubleheader we've got for you Thursday night at SportsNOLA.com. We've got first game, it's St. Aug against Crescent City. This is all happening on St. Aug's campus. Second game is a blockbuster. Really looking forward to watching Scotlandville, a team we got to see earlier this year in the finals of the All-State Sugar Bowl National Prep Classic, taking on Oak Hill from Virginia. When you start talking about national brands in high school basketball, that is probably at the top of the list, and this should be a lot of fun. Doubleheader starts at 7 Thursday night. Tune in at SportsNOLA.com to catch the action.
Make sure you watch. I know you will enjoy it. It goes without saying that we are happy to bring it to you. So, as always, Lenny, thank you, and have a great weekend.
We'll see you Monday.
That's our First NBC Bank weekend preview, brought to you by First NBC Bank. First NBC Bank is a proud sponsor of SportsNOLA.com. For Lenny, I'm Kenny. Have a great weekend, and God bless you.